I know this is different than what I usually do. I feel like it's time that I mix things up. So, I'm going to do one of the most generic things, and I'm very much late to the party, but I'm going to renovate the lovely happy home of Robloxia. I know that everyone just absolutely loves this house because, I mean, you can see why. The brown and the green, yellow, that wonderful driveway, and it's just amazing. Do I want to buy this for 7,500? I'm probably gonna go broke for buying this, but like, yeah, my money definitely deteriorated after that. Ooh. This is... I have not seen this build in ages. Yeah, this house looks amazing. The mailbox that is in the path, I'm gonna fix that. This lovely tree. Alright, going inside. Oh my. Okay, there's definitely gonna be a lot to change in here. This table with only 3 seats, like up against the window. You have the space. Why can't it just be centered to, like, why? This kitchen, first off, I'm gonna close the pizza box. No one wants to see that. The paper towel roll is not even near the sink. Like, why is it over here? This living room is lovely. Over here, I know, is the bathroom. The infamous toilet paper. That is literally, like, oh, oops. It's literally like on the toilet and then it's all the way over there. So, don't want to change up the layout too much, but I do want to make this at least 2 bedroom. Oh my gosh. The blue is getting out of here. It's going to definitely be going. There's not much to this house. It censored all of my... Starter house renovation. How did it not censor that one? Okay, so I bought it for 7,500 and it's worth 7,600. I don't want to make it more than 50,000. So first off, let's look at the floor plan for this thing. It is very much not big at all. If I do nothing else, I want to flip the kitchen in the living room, because having the kitchen in the front of the house is just so weird. Like, why does this exist? The bathroom being there is... that's fine. I can just make the bedroom smaller, but I want to add more dimension to the front of this house. It is very close to the road, but I'm not gonna fix that because we gotta keep some things. So I guess I can start off by everyone just deletes the front of it, and I'm gonna be no different. Alright, first let's get the mailbox like way over there. Do I want to keep any of the furniture? I'm not keeping this couch or this rug or that. I hate using the cheap appliances. I will keep this door. I will repurpose that door. I don't like this table either. I will keep the rug. Right, we're keeping the rug. Alright, so here we have it. Oh, and the mansard roof. Getting rid of that. I'll replace it with a gable so it like at least keeps the same look. But first things first. I should have planned this out more. Now that I'm coming in to build this, I'm like, I have no plan for this. Honestly, how would it look? I'll probably put a picture of some sort up here, but I would like to do one of those houses where there's like the front little chimney. But I don't know how that would look. So if I did something like this, and... oh, I'm not doing this no Game Pass. I will literally give up on it. I feel like I should at least get advanced placement. Okay, but if I did that... maybe for the back of the house. I'll keep that. Okay, so... I will be keeping the kitchen in the front of the house. Of course, random noises start happening when I'm recording. I just don't like this house. It's just not good. There's the shell. Now that I'm thinking about it, I want to do that front fireplace thing now. Because I kind of did that. And now I really want to do it. You know what? We're going to delete this. Gonna extend that. And then bam. This front little area. What to do with this? Okay, I think that extending this, so maybe like a little entrance room, and then kitchen, dining room, living room here. Bring this back. Maybe give a little bit more room for the dining room. Bathroom. Oops. Bathroom, bedroom. But I did say I wanted to make it 2 bedrooms. But I do want to make this at least 2 bedroom. Ooh. Can I fit a second bedroom in this? No, you know what? It's a starter house. You don't need a second bedroom. And actually, I'm pushing this entrance back more. Because you know what? It needs it. It needs the shape. I can put my door back over there. Next thing I want to do is make the shape. I really just don't like this house. I cannot do anything right. I took a break by like 3 minutes, just to kind of gather my thoughts for this. And I've lost $7,000 worth of this value. But you know what? We're gonna earn that back. So back to this. You know what? We're still keeping the entrance room. If I do the roof like that, we can give it this nice shape. This house is just so close to the road. Okay, new plan. Bedroom here. Bedroom here. Bathroom here. Kitchen here. It's kind of weird. But you know what? I kind of like it. This is very weird. You know what? There doesn't need a designated dining space. Like, I'll be fine without it. I probably am going to make a speed build of this, because my entire channel is based around speed builds. Now, let's see if the gable roof will work. And it's still clipping. You know what? What am I even doing with this? You know what? It was better the way I had it before. It was kind of weird, but it was a good weird. I'll just bring that back a little bit. Fingers crossed it works this time. Oh. Okay, not exact, but I can adjust that. Okay, I actually kind of like that. That doesn't look too bad. I'm gonna need to add a little porch here. And can I get away with, no I cannot. Okay, so I will do some type of roof like that. That doesn't look too bad. It could be worse. I would say one of the most, like, the biggest thing to make your house look quote-unquote realistic is just adding beams. Like adding beams to make roof trim. Any sort of roof trim. It doesn't matter if you like use another roof inside of it, because I do see some people doing that. It doesn't matter if you do some type of simple roof trim, if you do just like a very complex one. As long as there's some type of trim around. Wow. This roof will not line up. Okay, you know what? It's a little bit of a clip, but it doesn't matter. As I was saying, one of the best things to do is just adding a little bit of trim. Even if you don't... I'm trying to do this. I'm not used to building and talking at the same time. But even if it's not some type of major detailing, is just adding the beams to the edge adds a more defined look to it. But I like to go above and beyond and add planks to cover up the remaining portion of it. And that is what really gives it more of that realistic look. Now that there's somewhat of a shape to this house, first off, I'm gonna make a little porch. Let's raise that up. A porch doesn't have to be very detailed. I like to go by the what are these? The plain short fence, and then add a shape to fill in the remainder of it. And it gives it like a little raised platform. And it's not too much to where inside you don't have to build steps, and it doesn't look bad. That looks good. The main thing that I wanted to do for the front of, oh yeah, pillars. I'm very mismanaged with building. If I'm not paying attention, then it just becomes chaos. So the main thing I wanted to do for the front of this was to do some sort of fire, like chimney, that was exposed in the front. But I don't really build chimneys much, so this might not look good. I don't know if anybody else has done this kind of look as a starter house renovation. If they have, oops. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. I actually kind of like that. It's got a bit of a Tudor look to it, but I don't really care. Yeah, I kind of like that. I'm gonna make a smaller piece because I don't feel like moving all of those. Is it costing me more? Yes, but I don't really care. The best thing for me for like a stone wrap around the house is just using wall trims. Nothing too detailed. Then use a taller one right here. Yeah, I kind of like that. I know that I do custom windows in all of my builds, but I'm gonna do some more. Okay, so the last however many times I've tried to make custom windows, the structurals just don't work anymore. And what I mean by that is I will provide an example over here. Square window. And theoretically, and using large grid, and this has been able to be done in the past, you can just create like a, oh, that didn't work, but create just a cross grid in it. And that is physically impossible. Even when with medium grid, it just doesn't line up. What is this? Why is it still like this? It's been like this for months. So I'm having to do windows in a bit of an odd way. Because used to, I would be able to use medium grid and just make my little windows. But now I gotta do something weird. I don't normally do this window look, but I actually want to try it out. Why do structurals never cooperate? Like, I know the whole, like, placing inside the window thing is weird, but this has always been like this, where I try to place it just regularly, and it always has to jump. Now that I've got that window done, I can place it over there. Okay, now it's actually starting to look like something. I kind of like this. It doesn't have much of a, like, front of the house look. Oops. Forgot to color these. But, like, it's something... The starter house is weird, so I feel like any renovation of it is still probably gonna look weird. Okay, but that looks better than it did before. And I may make one more window. I will put a singular one of that over here, because I'm gonna do a triple window here, and then delete the little inside part. Bam, so it looks like just one big window, but it's actually 3 separate windows. Okay, so I saved this door for later, and now I'm gonna show you why. And then I'm gonna move this because it needs to be out of the way. And we're gonna get this window, resize it down and down. Bring this down. Bam. Color it the same as that. Will it cooperate with me? No, it will not. Well, you know what? Put that back down, and then bam, custom front door. I will do the same on the inside. Let me know. I know this is different than my usual content, but let me know if you want me to do more of these. For those that don't really use the layer floor hack, if you want it to look like this, I do 3 layers of planks and then 1 layer of logs, all in the same color. So I do that, then that, and bam, you get a floor that looks like this. I would actually like to make some sort of driveway, because I know for people that are new to the game, sometimes it's nice to have a little place to like park your car. I was working up, saving for the car, and then you have nowhere to park it in the starter house. So I feel like something just like that is enough. Actually, I'll bring it back a little bit more. Okay, I actually really like how this is starting to turn out. If I do make a speed build of this, like if I actually upload the speed build footage, it'll probably be like a day after whenever I post this. I don't know, I'll get there when I get there. Okay, it's amazing just what adding bushes to the front will do to a house. Like, this is so much better. I always forget to add the little, just add a little spot right here to put the mailbox, because the mailbox never has a good place to go. This is looking a lot better than I expected. I don't really care about adding a backyard in this, because it's a starter house and like there's this front part. Nice little detail if you want to add a little bit more realism to your builds. Just add a beam like across. Make sure they're in like a uniform pattern, but just adding beams in the driveway will give it the look of like different slabs of concrete. But only if the driveway is like the just a rectangle like this, because doing it in other shapes, I've tried and I personally don't like it, but if you do, it is fine. Okay, this definitely feels like a more inviting starter house than what it was here before. I love resizing trees all the way to the top because it's just a nice space filler. Yeah, I'm not having to constantly fill in the space with little trees. That's not too much landscaping, and it gives enough to the front of the house. Now, a little added detail that I like to do with doors is putting a beam across the top, because it just adds a little bit of, like a little extra bit to the door, like a little trim. Another little thing is just adding a plank to define like a little space. So I will resize this to be the same thickness as the wall, and then it, like going with this wall, it just flows across, and bam, this living room is like its own little defined space, even though it's all a part of the same room. Okay, now I want to see how much this cost. Remember, or I'm probably gonna clip where I said I wanted to keep this 50,000. I don't want to make it more than 50,000. Now, I like to do a bit more simpler custom windows, because every time I see someone else make custom windows, there's always like all these intricate things, and then whenever I hear people say like, oh, I don't like to do custom windows because they're too tedious. Like, you do something simple like this, it looks better than a regular window, at least in my opinion, and it's not as hard to make. At the time that you're probably watching this, the latest build that I released, the Suburban Craftsman Home, that was the first one I made. How did I mess up that bad? The Suburban Family Estate, I'm so good at naming these, has probably finished releasing, but I need to record that voiceover tomorrow because I gotta get uploaded by Wednesday. And I'm sitting here right now on, what's today? How was today Tuesday? I thought today was Monday. I'm gonna make a fireplace because fireplaces are fun. Where's the medieval torch? I'm gonna burn this house down. Not really. I've already spent too much. My bank account is... Okay, it's still fine, but it's less than what it was. Alright, I'm gonna have to do some camera maneuvering skills. Alright, and I will use a carpet here. Feel free to take any of these little tricks I'm doing, or just any design at all, and use it in your own build. You know, I'm using the fancy one, because this house is fancy. And then bam! Custom little fireplace. As long as I don't go over 100, I think I'll be fine. Which I said that about 50,000, and, well, at this point, I'm just gonna try to make it look good, so I can finally start working on the inside. I'm not gonna make it too expensive because I already spent way too much on the outside. But I finished the kitchen, somewhat, at least the basics of it, and I think I actually very much like how this turned out. It's very simple. I need to add smaller details, but I know in this spot here I want to put a table. I really like using the mini spheres chandelier for this kind of look. Maybe if I color it white, bring that down. I kind of like that look. I should have kept the round carpet from earlier. That could have saved me $50 whole. It's just a shame. I don't really see many people do this, and by many I mean any. But I layer carpets just like how you'd layer floors, because it just gives like a nicer carpet look. Like, look at that. I like that. It's simple, but it's got a nice look to it. What else do I need? Toaster. Again, I like this kitchen. It's kind of small. Oh, I forgot to color the microwave. How dare I? There's the kitchen. It's a little dark, so I'll add a light here. And I can even, this beam here, I can even make one that comes across to connect to it. That way it's kind of defining the space from the ceiling. That looks okay. Before I do the living room, I actually want to decorate the bathroom. Now, I'm going to do the same cabinet to keep it consistent. I'm going to use a decal for the mirror, because honestly, I started using decals for mirrors, and I will never go back. They just look so much better. Now, what I wanted to do for the flooring of this is using these square stepping stones. Is you put this here, and then can put like, I like doing the detailed tiles, and then just placing them like this, and it gives it a really unique look. I'm gonna need to move that. But I did this in the chic modern farmhouse I made a few months ago, and it really gives the bathroom a cool look for the flooring. Let's put some blinds in here because I need some privacy. And let's put these in all of the windows, except like the one above the door, because then when you try to open up the door, it'll just do the blinds, and then that's annoying. Let me get another... Oh, I have the beam over here still. Oops. Why are these two separate? You know what? It doesn't matter, because I'll just put it there and there, and then I can put the bed in the middle. I'm using the cheap sink because honestly it looks better than the more expensive one. I should do smaller houses more. I honestly enjoy these because you're kind of able to put a bit more thought into each space, since there's not 4 bathrooms that I'm having to decorate, it's just one. And yes, I do copy and paste like all of them, with no shame. We're also going to put some soap in the sink, because you need to wash your hands in the sink. Did I say soap in the sink? I meant the kitchen. I never put trash cans in my builds. I just always forget about them. Now, if there's going to be one improvement, we'll put in the toilet paper next to the toilet. Okay, so here's the finished product for the bathroom. I still need to change the decals. But I would say this is an improvement for just considering the last bathroom. Your toilet paper is actually next to the toilet now, so we have simple luxuries. Now, if there's one thing that I feel like is kind of fun to do as a new player, is like having people over to your house and like cooking things and being like, wow, I have level 4 cooking now. And I want to have a nice little living room space. Hey, it cut off. While this house is probably not going to be budget friendly for a new player, it's gonna look good. I'll put these chairs here. Okay, so this is what I have so far for the living room, and I actually kind of like it. It's kind of cozy, and it goes with the kitchen, but I'm really starting to like this house. I do need some sort of light in the center here, so what better to use than a cheap fan? Definitely flint, we don't want to blind anyone. I actually think I'm going to put one of these fans in the master bedroom, which it's not really that fancy of a bedroom, but just to add a little bit more light. I'm going to need a vase of some sort, or vase, however. I'm not that fancy. There's all the professional people saying, there's a nice elegant vase on this table. And then me with the southern accent sneaking through, yeah, I got this nice vase over here. Okay, just the effect that after I've started making custom windows, I've never used like in-game curtains again. I'll use the blinds on the windows itself, but I do these pillar curtains that I think Describe came up with the idea of using them. And they look better, and they're just better whenever I do windows like this that are like 3 separate windows. I can't have anything just be a bright color, it has to be neutral. It's become a bad habit of mine, just making everything in the house a neutral color, and if it's not, then it's not gonna exist in here. We are not putting a welcome mat here, because if someone's living in a house this fancy, this is probably not the most welcoming house for door-to-door Bloxburg salesman. I do need to add a doorbell outside. I'm using the cheap one. I never really used Transform Plus on like sofas, but I think it's kind of neat sometimes, just to be able to make that little minor adjustment. Do I have a plant in here? I have one here. We can copy it and put it over here. We can put a slightly fancier TV over the mantel. And because this is a fancy starter house, they're gonna have a soundbar. Bam. Soundbar. I'm gonna do the master bedroom first. I'm gonna use the same exact modern single bed. It's just, I'm gonna place this one. This is how I make a quote-unquote queen bed in this game, is I'll just place 2 of them inside each other, and then it somewhat looks decent. Okay, bam, there is the bed in here. And now I will copy the pillows over to this one. I always like to do this with bedrooms, that way there's not like a specific bedroom that's just better than the other ones. Like people aren't fighting over who gets which bedroom. I will color the back of it. I'll put like some sort of design on the back, that way it at least adds a little bit of a feature point. Add some tables, and I will copy the books from the kitchen. Then we copy the lamp from the living room. Copy this over here. And then bam, nightstands. Okay, so now we have this little room decorated. This is a cute little bedroom. Nothing much, but it's something. And then this room, I'm gonna add a little bit more. This is fancy, so we're gonna have a TV. We're getting the cheap one though, because this is a starter house. So I think that's it for the inside. I will change the decals off camera. Okay, so now that I've finished everything, we can do the full tour. So in total, this house cost $130,957, which is over what I wanted to do originally, and over what I wanted to do second originally. So this house, it still retains a lot of the original look of the starter house. Just that general shape. Like you look at this and you're like, that's the starter house. I did want to do something interesting with this fireplace in the front, and some angles I think it looks good, some angles I think it's kind of okay. So that's just the free cam. Let's actually tour the inside. So coming over here, I made this nice little driveway, because I know that like one of the first things you always want to do is to save up for a car, and the starter house just doesn't have a place for that, so I made this little spot. I gave the house an actual porch. I pushed the door back a little bit, and this driveway makes a lot more sense, because you actually have a space for the mailbox and the trash can, and like there's a little porch, and this part when it first comes down does not take up the whole space. There's a little bit of a front yard. I didn't do anything in the back, which I have seen some other people do, like a back patio, but I didn't want to push it for the budget, and it didn't really work with the layout I wanted to do. And I feel like that kind of just retains another aspect of the starter house. It's just like, maybe if I do another renovation I can add a backyard to that one, but starting off we come into an actual entrance and not just into the house. I have this little foyer. We've got a little table, like car keys. I should have put a phone here, but I forgot to do that. Oh well. Moving on, in here is the living room, and it's one of my favorites that I've done. I just like the look of everything in this house. Having the fireplace there, it just adds a nice center, like nice centerpiece to the room. This area over here, I didn't want to make an actual hallway, but I just kind of framed it out with these beams on the ceiling. Over here is the kitchen, which I didn't do an island, but I did do a nice big L-shaped kitchen. You have enough counter space to cook, and there's also the table here. 4 seats, better than the 3 for what was here originally. And I did put a trash can, which I didn't forget. I didn't put anything in the cabinets because I didn't feel like detailing that. If you've seen any of my other speed builds or listened to my voiceovers, you know that I just get lazy at some point. And here is the only bathroom in the house. I did do the custom little tile flooring. Toilet with the toilet paper next to it. We can finally use the toilet in the starter house and reach the toilet paper. Again, blinds in here because there's not a fence back there, so someone can just walk up, and you want the ability to just close them off. I did put 2 bedrooms in here. That is the one thing that I wanted to do, and I actually did do. So this one in the front is the smaller bedroom, and then in the back, closer to the bathroom, is the master bedroom, which, now that I think about it, I should have put a door that led into the bathroom, but I've already finished this whole thing. I'm not going back now. But yeah, this room's a little bit bigger. I did 2 beds that are kind of clipping into each other to make like a slightly bigger bed. So yeah, that is basically the whole, that's basically the whole thing. So that's all for this video. Thank you for watching, if you're still watching this point. I will see you in the next one. Bye.